What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, all right? So, the Lakers were able to win game 2 by the final score, I believe, of 117 to, I think it was 109. I think it was. Or 108. I think it was 109. So, the series is now split at 1 game apiece. This looks like it might be a 6 or 7 game series now. Honestly, if Russell Westbrook had actually made some shots tonight, the Rockets would have won tonight. You know, it looked like earlier on the Lakers was going to blow out the Rockets. It looked like, it was going to be a 25-point blowout. They were up by about 20 points earlier on, but then the Rockets came out, on fire. As the old little ESPN phrase was, they came out en fuego in the third quarter. I think they scored 41 points in the third quarter, off of their shooting. That's the thing with the Rockets. They are an up and down 3-point shooting team. Some quarters, they look horrid. Some games, they look like the best shooting team in the NBA. I think personally, if the Rockets are going to win this series, it's going to be a couple of things. Number one, Russell Westbrook is a blessing and a curse at the same time. He's a blessing because of his speed and because of his unpredictability and his danger and the transition that makes him an asset to the Houston Rockets. When he gets it going offensively, when he does get it going offensively, he's a very dangerous weapon for the Houston Rockets. Part of the turnaround for this season has been when they have gotten small, when they made that trade for Clint Capella, and they made a concerted effort to, in essence, almost make Russell Westbrook basically like their point center, in so many words. That made him a great weapon, okay? I'm not trying to, make excuses for Russ, but I do notice that the mainstream media, they get a hard on shitting on this guy when he has bad games, but they don't really talk about him when he has these great games. You know what I'm saying? It's like it goes on the radar. Unfortunately, this is the thing about Russell Westbrook. I can't keep making excuses for this guy because more and more in the playoffs, he shits the bed. Okay? He's too inconsistent in the playoffs. He also lets people bait him into going against his own game. He's too competitive for his own good. This is what hurt him in that series with Portland last year, and this is what's hurting him now. Rust, all second half season, ever since Christmas, when you went 0 for 8 from 3-point range in that blowout against the Warriors, a game y'all should have won in the blowout, you got blowout in the blowout, okay? Ever since then, you've become a more efficient player, you've eschewed the 3-point line, and you've embraced your role, and you've been averaging over 30 points a game in the second half of the season in this new role, okay? Don't let the Lakers sucker you out of doing that and make you into Russell Westbrook again. Don't do that shit, man. You don't have to try to win every fucking competitive battle, every possession, try to show you the best player on the court, which you're not, okay? But if the the Rockets are going to win this, Russ has to play smarter. He has to be more efficient. James Harden has played okay. He was very big in game 1. Not quite as big in game 2, but I can't put this on James Harden. This is on Russell Westbrook this time. You know what I'm saying? The turnovers, the inefficiency. His shot selection sometimes just baffles me. And it's like he's playing too fast all of the time. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Just 100 miles an hour. And it can be, you know what I'm saying? That can be an asset, but when you control it. You know what I'm saying? He has to be able to be effective in different phases of you know, the Rockets' offense, not just in transition. C.J. Tucker, to me, is going to be pivotal if the Rockets want to have a chance at winning this series. C.J. Tucker, you know what I'm saying, I didn't realize that he played. Shout out to Ticket TV because he mentioned this in a video of his, and I've been watching it. I didn't know that he played Anthony Davis that well. And then, you know, you got the fact that I believe C.J. Tucker is out rebounding Anthony Davis in this series. A 6'5" forward. Plus, he has the ability to knock down the corner three. He's a huge asset. He's going to be an X factor in this series. So if those three guys can get it going, you know, offensively. Plus, C.J. continues his effective defense in Anthony Davis. And if the Rockets can knock down some shots and get some help from others, and if Eric Gordon can at least chip in with at least, you know, something around 16, 17 points a game, then the Rockets could upset the Lakers. But, you know, there was too much LeBron James. I'm going to tell you something. I know a lot of you guys don't like LeBron James, and I know it because you guys somehow, some way, figured out how to shit on him when he dunked on Russell Westbrook. I mean, Russell was going for a charge. I mean, come on. Well, so what? I remember when Sean Kemp dunked on Antoine Carr in the 96 Western Conference Finals. I think it was Game 7. And nobody gave a fuck about the fact that Antoine Carr was going for a charge. Sean Kemp dunked on his ass. My goodness. I mean, y'all sound like Skip Bayless sometimes. Look, I mean, I understand that was a game winner, but I mean, you know, LeBron is 6'8". I mean, he was fading over guys 6'3", 6. I mean, look, man, y'all to the point, man. Y'all are some haters. Sorry. Some of y'all guys hate on him way too fucking much, man. And I don't even like LeBron. But Jesus. I don't know what it is that y'all hate about this guy, but y'all got to give the guy props when it's due, man. LeBron played like a superstar last night, and Skip Bayless still found a way to hate on him. And I'm like, man, Skip is ridiculous sometimes. Like, I get it. LeBron do be irritating me sometimes with the front running and excessive showboating when the team is, you know what I'm saying, up by 15. But then when the game is close or whenever the game is in doubt, you know, that's when you want to play hot potato and want to be a passer. You know, so I remember that shit when he was with Miami, he used to do that shit. When he was with Miami, they're up by 15, he want to fucking run down transition and shoot his fucking 25-foot threes. You know what I'm talking about with his, after he shoot, he got his hands back and shit, the lean back. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know what LeBron be doing. But then when the fucking Heat are down by 3, he playing hot potato and give it to Wade and shit. And then Wade do something and fucking win the game for Miami. But somehow the media praised LeBron's pass. Oh, what a brilliant pass, LeBron, to Wade. I mean, Wade made the shot, but it would have been possible without LeBron setting that up. Like, man, fuck y'all. That's why people start hating LeBron. But, woosah, going back to this series. It's on Russell Westbrook, man. It's on Russell Westbrook. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, man. If Russell Westbrook continues to shit the bed in this series and shoot like shit, I can no longer defend him. He'll still be a guy that I like, but it will validate every negative, criticism and a negative, analysis that people have had of him over the past few years, man. And it's going to make people say, look, you can't win with this guy. And I'm rooting for this guy so badly, man. I want this guy to go to another NBA Finals. At the very least, go to another NBA Finals. I would like him to win a championship. But he gets in his own way too much. I don't understand it. I remember what Magic Johnson said. And remember, Magic's been around the NBA since the 1980s. 1979, actually. Magic's been playing basketball since he was a kid, late 60s. And he said that was the worst point guard play he'd ever saw in his life. We're talking about Magic Johnson now. He's watched all of these guys. You know what I'm saying? He watched Stephon Marbury. And he said that. So I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to root for this guy, man, but I don't know, man. But when you have a team like the Lakers, and the fact that although they, what's his name, Caldwell Pope and Danny Green were able to make some of their outside shots, bad habits are bad habits for a reason. And the Lakers are not generally a good outside shooting team. Anthony Davis does not like, to be physically aggressive. He doesn't like that. So at the end of the day, the Rockets are still in this. I mean, look, when you think about it, even though there's no home court, the Rockets did their job. They split the first two games, even though it's not really home court, really, in these series. But theoretically, the Rockets did their job. They split the first two games. All right. Can the Rockets win the next two games? I guess they could. I will say this. The Rockets are going to have to be aware of officiating because, I'm just saying, the NBA is a business, so you got to be aware of certain calls that might go against you because the NBA wants these series to get stretched out a little bit to recoup some of that money. But yeah, that's all I got to say, man. Oh, by the way, I saw a statistic, man, a glaring statistic the other day about Danny Green, right? Now, this doesn't count last night's game, but outside of last night's game, right, do you know in Danny Green's last 35 playoff games, right, so that goes back the last 3 years. Remember Danny Green when he had his reputation as being one of the best catch-and-shoot three-point shooters in the NBA about 6 years ago? Remember he put on that performance in the finals when he made like 69, 70% of his threes when the Spurs beat the Heat by a record margin in the finals and all that, right? Ever since then, do you know that Danny Green over the last 35 playoff games has shot only 33.5% from the floor in the playoffs? 33.5% from the floor. And only 32% from three. And he's a catch and shoot player who has played on teams that have had Kawhi Leonard and now LeBron James and AD, and you're only shooting 32% from three. So, yeah, he's really struggled from outside in the last couple of years, man. But, hopefully the Lakers can get Danny Green on the upswing in this series. But tell me what you guys think.